Hey guys, welcome to Grace Automation and Engineering Services. In this video, I'm going to share with you one of our recent projects in which we developed an automated palletizer system in which the boxes coming out of packing machine were arranged on a pallet. So firstly, we created a demo of the project on HMI screen and then implemented that. So the requirement of the project was a horizontal conveyor driven with a motor takes the packets from outlet of packing machine and that takes the packets to the palletizer. So the requirement was that initially the system should be in standby mode, and there should two modes of operation, auto and manual, and there should be separate login system for both modes. Operator should access only auto mode, but the technician, when the technician is logged in, it should have full access. It should also have access to run the system in auto mode and also in the manual mode. In auto mode, on pressing the start button, the motor was required to run and the packets were allowed to move towards the palletizer. So these packets were being detected by a sensor. So when the 4 packets were passed, a cylinder was extended to prevent the movement of packets toward the pallet. So the packets collected were then pushed towards the pallet, and there was a gap of 5 seconds between these two things. So in the manual mode, that is accessed only by the technician, all the outputs were controlled manually. So the separate buttons were provided for each of the output to control that in manual mode. So there was some additional things. Firstly, there was a requirement of a reset button that should reset the system to the initial condition. So as initially we have seen that system should be in standby mode. So pressing the reset button, system goes into the standby mode. And the function of the stop button, it was that on pressing the stop button, system should go into fault condition, means the processing should stop and an indicator should display that system is at fault. So then the system needs to be reset after clearing of the fault to start the process again. And other thing was, if the packets were not coming out of a packing machine, so the system should turn into the standby mode, means it should not keep on running without any reason. So if the packets are not coming, it should go into the standby mode. So a timer was set to turn the system into the standby mode. Here for the demo we had took a time of 30 seconds. If for the 30 seconds packets are not being detected, the system should go into the standby condition. Let's go to the software and test the logic. So here is the root screen. So here we have the login system. This button is for the operator to log in, and this is for the technician to log in. So let's firstly test the operator. We need to give the username, operator, and then password for that. Okay, now we can log in. So we have logged into the auto mode. Here we can see that initially the system is at standby. So here we have a cylinder that will prevent the movement of packets towards the pallet. So this is motor, this is the conveyor that will be running when the motor is on, and this sensor will be detecting the uh, passage of the packets toward the pallet, and this cylinder will be pushing the packets towards the pallet. So these are the limit sensors telling us about the position of the cylinder, whether the cylinder is retracted or extended. So for the demo purposes, instead of the sensors we have the buttons to show the position of the cylinder. So here we can see that firstly the cylinder Y1 is retracted, so let's turn it on, and cylinder Y2 is also retracted. So here we can see that this indicator is on, means cylinder is retracted. So this is the initial condition. So in the real time the indicators were automatically on because of the position of the cylinder. So here for the demo purposes we have the buttons to indicate the position. So these are the buttons for start and stop and reset, and then selecting the mode. Here as we have logged into the operator screens, we just have access to the auto mode. The operator cannot run the manual mode. So we have a different screen for technician who can access the system in manual mode, and this indicator will be on when the packets are not detected for 30 seconds. So let's start testing. Firstly we need to press the start button. So here we can see that indicator is showing that system is running. Now we need to select the mode. So let's select the auto mode. So here we can see that the motor has turned to green and it's rotating, and similarly the conveyor is moving. So here the packets will be coming towards the pallet, so those will be detected by this sensor. So here for the demo purpose we have this push button to detect the packets. So here we can see that as per requirement, as the packet were not detected for 30 seconds, so the system has gone back into the standby mode, and this error indicator has turned on, means packets are not coming, so the system should go into the standby mode. So now to start again we have to reset. So let's reset. So system is still in standby. Now the error is cleared. Now let's start the system and proceed into the auto mode. Let's start and then auto mode. Here the conveyor is moving. If one packet is detected, so here the sensor is triggered, one packet has passed. Now the second, and then third, and then fourth. Here we can see that after detection of the 4 packets, the cylinder Y1 was extended, but the conveyor kept on moving for 5 seconds, and then after the 5 seconds conveyor was stopped and this cylinder Y2 was extended, push the packets to the pallet. So now change the position of the cylinders. Now retraction will be off and both are extended. So here we can see that one cycle has completed, cylinder are retracted again, and so the cycle is started again. So the packets will be detected again, and then cylinders will extend to move the packets to the pallet. So now let's test the technician mode. As the packets were not detected, the system has turned into the standby mode, and it's showing the missing sensor error. Here we can see that the technician has access of both auto and the manual mode. There are buttons for each the output to control that manually. So let's reset the system, start that, and select the manual mode. So here we can control each of the output manually. So initially here the cylinders are retracted, motor is off, so let's turn the motor on. Here we can see that we have turned on the motor is running, so conveyor is moving. So let's turn that off, and let's extend the cylinder 1. Here we can extend the cylinder. Now accordingly the limit sensor will be triggered, so will be on, showing that cylinder is extended. Now let's retract the cylinder. So here we can also extend the cylinder 2. Now let's change the position and retract the cylinder. So the cylinder is retracted. So in this way we have both the auto and manual control of the system. The logic for the control was developed in SCL. Here is the main controlling logic for the system, and here we are getting the commands from HMI in a register, and depending on the value moved in the register we are taking the decisions in this functional block. So thanks for watching. See you next time.